growing up, my father was the main breadwinner in our family. My mom had a job that she'd work at part time, and she'd earn a small amount, but very small relative to what my father was bringing in. And I remember she used to say that the money that my dad made, well, that was theirs collectively. And the money that my mom made, well, that money, that was just hers. That was her extra money that she felt like she could do anything she wanted with. Dad didn't seem to mind. Dad seemed to be perfectly happy to say, okay, I'm the main breadwinner, and mom, she could go and do what she wanted with her excess money and have fun with it. But on Daf 93 of Yevamot, we get into kind of like, so what is the Torah's perspective on that? Like, what happens with this money that is brought in? Who does it belong to? So it's actually tends to be on its very kind of baseline. Granted, the Torah law seems to be very skewed towards male ownership. So it's usually expected that the man is bringing in most of the income, but that any income that his wife brings in is also going to be part of that family income that he is going to assumedly have control over. But it says if that she was going and earning income above and beyond what was expected, if she was someone who was really successful and had a lot of income, whereas maybe other women in other families would have, a lot less than they were bringing in, then the excess would be hers to control as she saw fit. I thought that was a very interesting way of presenting it. So really, there was a certain expectation that both the man and the woman might bring in a certain amount of income, and that really dealing with the income was mostly considered to be the man's responsibility and the man's right, and he was the one who really controlled the assets of the family according to Torah law certainly back then. But if the woman was a high earner getting more than was expected, then she had really the right to say, okay, look, I know you're expecting me to bring in a certain amount, fine, that will go towards family funds, but I want sole ownership and control over what I bring in above and beyond that. And that's what the Gemara seemed to say was part of the legal structure.